Oh, boo-hoo! Big tough John Marston has scared a little undead creature walking around. Moses wouldn't hurt a fly, would you, darling? Besides, this ain't nothing new.
Red Dead Redemption 2 without a doubt will go down in history as one of the best games of this current console generation. Rockstar Games did so much right with this game, various elements in my opinion being perfected, which includes the design of the open world, the musical soundtrack, graphics, the narrative, character development, and the mystery throughout the world of RDR2, which really doesn't get highlighted enough. But with all these elements that work to near perfection, there is room for improvement in future games, especially with gunplay and mission design. But anyway, there's a reason why Red Dead Redemption 2 sold 25 million copies, and it was mainly for the emotional journey of Arthur Morgan, which is why it's so unfortunate that the focus solely for the last 11 months post-release has been on Red Dead Online. Maybe that makes financial sense considering how profitable Grand Theft Auto Online has been, making billions upon billions of dollars. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely different than Grand Theft Auto 5's core audience, which is why I always felt not expanding on the single player would be a missed opportunity. To this point, Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar Games, has only had praise for Red Dead Online, saying it has exceeded their expectations thus far and has been more successful than Grand Theft Auto Online was in its early days. But even with all that said, there has been a demand that Rockstar not abandon the single player like they did with Grand Theft Auto 5, and if the strange things happening in Red Dead Redemption 2 right now are indication of anything, maybe they have not forgotten why Red Dead Redemption 2 sold 25 million copies. With us nearing the 1-year anniversary of Red Dead Redemption 2, spooky things are starting to emerge, which has the Red Dead community speculating that an Undead Nightmare 2 DLC may be nearly upon us, with an announcement maybe being imminent. Today we are going to break down all the evidence that we have of an Undead Nightmare 2 DLC, including much that has been overlooked, but, and I need to emphasize this, nothing is certain this could all be nothing more than a cheesy online-only Halloween event. Before we proceed forward, if you go on to enjoy this content and want to show your support for gaming videos like this, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing for more, and turning notifications on so you do not miss out on any new content. Also, sharing videos like this definitely helps the channel, so please, if you can, consider doing that. Now, as most of you have seen by now, green zombie eyes are appearing in Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2 single-player mode, which is certainly rather interesting. All of this comes after the big online summer update that was released just about 2 weeks ago. These green eyes appearing on dead NPC bodies throughout the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 in places like Armadillo, which already had bodies scattered throughout the town due to the cholera outbreak. Although not all of these dead bodies have green eyes, it seems to be most female NPC models and maybe 1 or 2 male NPC models which have green eyes. Because of this, it really is open for interpretation if this is some mysterious bug that only affected some NPC character models' eyes. That's really been something debated for the last week and why I held off immediately uploading a video when this news broke. It's worth mentioning that this summer update has resulted in many bugs in Red Dead Online, which includes horses and pants turning into giants, and a specific weapon model breaking which turns to green. Point being, there's good reason to be skeptical at this moment, but what I find most notable is the timing of all of this, with Halloween right around the corner, which is when Undead Nightmare 1 was officially revealed and released. But additionally, Rockstar thus far has been silent on if this is a bug or not, although I'm sure the speculation is just good marketing for Red Dead no matter what, so yeah. But other than the green eyes appearing on some decomposing zombie-like dead bodies, there's been reports of a dog with red eyes, which again could just be a glitch, but then there's weird zombie-like noises coming from the Indian burial ground in West Elizabeth, which already was an interesting location because if you throw fire, it'll automatically trigger rain, which obviously puts out the fire. Anyway, here's what one user was able to capture. Certainly strange, and definitely a creepy vibe that is already within much of this game's world, with ghosts that will speak to you, a ghost train, a vampire, UFOs, and a lot more. Now, something else that was recently discovered is some new creepy music added to Red Dead Online. Take a listen. Honestly, all of this could be nothing, but the timing is just very interesting, and I keep using that word interesting because I really don't know how to explain my feelings on all of this. I want to be hyped, but I also want to be skeptical just because this is Rockstar Games. Too many times I've been let down. And the thing is, these recent events, they're not the only thing pointing to an Undead Nightmare story DLC. As most of you know, if you go to the fence in Saint-Denis, the Undead Nightmare mask can be seen on a shelf, the mask that is said to be the cause of the undead plague in Undead Nightmare. Just an Easter egg? Probably, but with everything that is happening, it needs to be mentioned. Furthermore, Rockstar Games data miner and modder Jedi Josh reported early in 2019, funny thing is that a zombie-like DLC was actually planned or will happen soon. According to an E-Explosion tag, RDR2 explosion names list from the game, there's this explosion called explosion tag phosphorus bullet, and that was from Undead Nightmare. And yes, as most of you know, the phosphorus coating, when used, it coated all of John Marston's bullets in shells and phosphorus, causing any undead hit to be lit on fire, leaving them to slowly die in distinct blue flames. The fact that this is in the game files could point to an Undead Nightmare DLC being a project being worked on for months, secretly by Rockstar Games. On top of that, a well-known Rockstar data miner TEASED revealed earlier this month on Twitter, on the release day of Grand Theft Auto Online's casino update, Rockstar accidentally allowed players to unlock a Halloween-themed mask in Red Dead Online. I believe this is the mask, which is called the Slaughter Mask. Additionally, in early August, the voice actor of Bill Williamson got the attention of the Red Dead community by posting to Instagram a photo of himself recording something with an Undead Nightmare t-shirt on, although he did emphasize in the description that this t-shirt was unrelated to his recording, but that certainly did not cease speculation, which is not like this could be the first Rockstar Games voice actor to tease upcoming story DLC. As most of you know, infamously, Grand Theft Auto 5's Franklin did that back in 2014, although unfortunately that story DLC was cancelled due to Grand Theft Auto Online pretty much just blowing up. But in all honesty, Bill Williamson's voice actor Steve J. Palmer could be just messing around with fans with him wearing an Undead Nightmare shirt in a recording booth. But as I've said, Rockstar's priorities these days have been solely on the online, but I honestly do find it plausible that maybe an Undead Nightmare 2 project was in development even before RDR2 shipped in late 2018. For those who were hopeful that we would see potential story DLC that was more akin to Grand Theft Auto 4's, I feel ya. I've been vocal about wanting to see a Sadie Adler Mexico expansion DLC, or even one following Charles Smith, but it really does seem like Rockstar Games loves zombies. Beyond Red Dead Redemption's Undead Nightmare DLC, Rockstar data miner TEASED reported to Eurogamer a few months ago what Rockstar Games originally had planned for Grand Theft Auto 5 story DLCs. What Rockstar was planning to do with the single-player DLC can be compared to adding a whole new map expansion. They had plans to redesign 80 or 90% of the map to fit a specific theme. One of the episodes was supposed to feature a zombie apocalypse. Rockstar would make changes to the whole map to fit the zombie apocalypse theme. So yeah, Rockstar Games certainly loves toying around with the zombie apocalypse, but most importantly, would they even consider nowadays supporting the single-player post-launch with story DLC? Well, that's a question that they actually have answered in an interview. Rockstar Director of Design Imran Sarwar said in late 2017 to Game Informer, "We may well do story DLC for future projects. At Rockstar, we will always have bandwidth issues because we are perfectionists, and to make huge complex games takes a lot of time and resources. Not everything is always possible, but we still love single-player open-world games more than anything. I don't think you could make a game like Grand Theft Auto 5 if you did not like single-player games and trying to expand their possibilities." Which, I will say, it's one thing to say something everyone wants to hear compared to, actually doing it. And right now, it remains to be seen if Rockstar is actually interested in supporting single-player after release. But looking to 2010, the roadmap of Red Dead Redemption's post-launch support it, it's, again, very interesting. In July 2010, the Undead Nightmare pack, along with other DLC packs, were announced to be coming later in the year, and Rockstar Games did not really start discussing or showing off the expansion until late September 2010, with details being announced September 27th, and a teaser trailer following a few days later. The Undead Nightmare pack would release October 26th, 2010, and go down in history as one of the best single-player expansions ever made. Could that be what awaits for Red Dead Redemption 2? It's difficult to say for certain. The green zombie eyes could simply just be a bug, but again, I do believe something is coming, as evidenced with a Halloween mask already leaking early. Now, how substantial it is remains to be seen. It could simply be an online-only Halloween event which has us hunting down zombies and a limited time event, or, and what I'm hoping is the case, is that Red Dead Redemption 2 gets an Undead Nightmare story DLC that is substantial with content, and it is permanent paid content. And on top of that, there is a limited time Halloween event for the online, a win-win for everyone. That's what I wish would happen, and I'm hopeful happens. There's a lot going on here, and the next few weeks will be interesting. Rockstar Games is one of the most secretive game studios in the world. What I've learned is to always expect the unexpected. I firmly believe that the majority of Red Dead Redemption 2 owners have moved on, and the way that you bring them back is with more story content, the reason why they bought the game, with characters that players fell in love with, and of course I'm certain Rockstar could use the opportunity to try and launch more interest into the online, which may just work if they take that route. It would also allow them to add some crazy, wacky new zombie or supernatural themed items for Red Dead Online. Logically, I think all of this just makes perfect sense, and I mean, it's not like Rockstar Games is a small indie developer. They have multiple studios and thousands of employed devs to make something like this happen. Now, some other notes worth mentioning is that the mysterious Bon Air project has been relabeled as Red Dead Redemption 2, and is said to be RDR2's PC version, and it was just approved finally in Australia. I bring this up because it's not 100% certain that this is the PC version, as was indicated by TEASED 2. The console version of RDR2 received its classification about a month and a half before release, so no matter what this project actually is, we should be hearing about it with an official announcement any day now. So like I said, it's worth mentioning, especially since the original speculation was that this Bon Air project could be story DLC. Anyway, I always love the idea of an Undead Nightmare 2, although I personally theorize them going all in on an aliens theme this time around, but again, if this is actually happening, it doesn't at least seem that is the case, but hey, I certainly won't complain. Currently, I can't even enjoy the original Undead Nightmare because of the headless NPC glitch, which has never been fixed and still plagues this experience to this day. But I've been asked by many for my thoughts on the possibility of Undead Nightmare 2, and I felt I just had to make a video on it. Right now there's a lot of evidence supporting the notion that something is coming, but I remain skeptical, as should you. I don't know how many times I've expected something from Rockstar Games to only be let down, so for now, being skeptical, pointing out how some of these teases could just be bugs is for the best. And there is one correction I probably should make with the whole green eyes. It's not specifically one color as green, it's, I guess the better description I should have given throughout this video is glowing eyes, because it looks yellow on the inside and green on the outside. Just something that I needed to mention before this video ends. So, I have not played much Red Dead as of the last few months. The online has definitely improved the summer update Frontier Pursuits. I've only heard good things, but my opinion has not really changed, and that is that the online pales in comparison to the spectacular single player, which trying to duplicate the narrative elements in the online with a silent protagonist just doesn't, and it hasn't worked all that well. But deep down I hope that to celebrate the 1 year anniversary I'll have a new adventure to take on in the story mode. But yeah, what do you guys and gals make of all of this? Do you think Undead Nightmare 2 is coming, or just an online only event? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games, and again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and remember, Outlaws to the end.